This video is for Wednesday, May 6th for trigonometry. So today we're going to be reviewing the unit circle. So the unit circle associates sine, cosine, and tangent with this idea of the quadrant in the unit circle. So very briefly, these are the four quadrants. Just like in actual class, pretend that's straighter than it is. Okay, so in this quadrant, everything is positive. In this quadrant, sine is positive and everything else is negative, meaning cosine and tangent are negative. Here, tangent is positive and cosine and sine are negative. And here, cosine is positive and sine and tangent are negative. And the acronym to remember that: all students take calculus. Okay, so just to remind you, the unit circle, that's a bad circle, but the unit circle has the coordinate grid going right through the middle of it. So I'll erase this and try to put it in the middle. Okay, so the unit circle has the coordinate grid going right through the middle. So that's a little better. Okay, so here you have 0, here you have 90, here you have 180, here you have 270, and then back around here is 360. So those are the degrees. Now, the unit circle has degrees and radians. So again, radians are anything that are measured in pi, in terms of pi. So here this is 0, this is pi over 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi over 2, and then 360 degrees is equivalent to 2 pi. Okay, so all throughout this unit circle, there are different angles. So some that look like this, like this. Again, this is a very rough sketch. You have an actual picture of it on your notes, but the unit circle basically looks like this. And all of these have degree measures, but they also have their equivalent radian measures. And then, since it's on a coordinate grid, each degree measure or each radian measure has its own coordinate as to where it meets this unit circle. And the coordinates tell us what sine and cosine are, and then you can figure out what tangent is based on those. So, to recap, because it's been a day or two since we thought about it, if you have a coordinate on the unit circle, cosine is x, sine is y, and tangent is y over x. So what we're going to do today is we're going to find the degree measure or the radian measure on the unit circle, and then we have to identify what is the cosine, meaning what is the x value of that coordinate, or what is the sine, what is the y value of that coordinate, or what's the tangent. You take y divided by x. Okay, so hopefully that's straightforward. We're going to start with example 1 on your notes. Okay, so example 1, if my marker wants to cooperate, says find the exact values of sine of 3 pi over 2, that's like a fraction and a 2 all at once, 3 pi over 2, cosine 3 pi over 2, and tangent 3 pi over 2. Okay, so we have to find 3 pi over 2 on the unit circle. So if you look at 3 pi over 2, its coordinate is 0, negative 1. Okay, so this is the x, this is the y. So sine is the y value. So the sine of 3 pi over 2 is going to be negative 1. So sine of 3 pi over 2 equals negative 1. Cosine is the x value, so cosine 3 pi over 2 is 0. And then tangent 3 pi over 2 is supposed to be y divided by x, so negative 1 over 0. And anytime 0 is on the bottom of a fraction, it's undefined. So I hope you remember that. So this one would actually be undefined. Okay. So that is example 1. Alright, now on example 2, I've given you several different values, so we're going to find them on the unit circle. And then if it says cosine, you tell me what the x is. If it says sine, you tell me what the y is. And if it says tangent, you take y divided by x. Alright, so let's do it. I also have to slightly move because my feet are falling asleep. I'm sitting on them. Okay. So, example 2, part A, we have cosine 7 pi over 4. So, let's find 7 pi over 4 on your unit circle. So, 7 pi over 4, found it. And we need the x value. So, the x value of this is square root 2 over 2. Okay. So that's pretty straightforward. You just find it on the chart and then tell me what that value is. Okay, part B, we have sine 4 pi over 3. So again, you go and you find 4 pi over 3 on the unit circle. And then sine, we need the y value. So the y value of 4 pi over 3 is negative square root 3 over 2. Alright, now let's go see what part C is. Alright, part C says tangent of pi. Alright, so let's go back and find pi and figure out what its coordinate is. So pi, its coordinate is negative 1, 0, and tangent is y over x. So we're going to have 0 over negative 1, which equals 0. Okay, so hopefully so far you're feeling okay about that. We have 3 more to do. Okay, so the last 3 that we have are in degree measures instead of radian measures. Alright, so part D says sine 120, and I'm just going to write the rest on here so I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. Cosine 300 and tangent 135. Okay, so we're going to find those on our unit circle. So 120 degrees is in the second quadrant. 120 degrees, its y value is square root 3 over 2. Okay? Alright, now cosine 300. So find 300, and we need its x value, and that is 1/2. And then 135. We need the tangent. So 135, its little coordinate is negative square root 2 over 2, comma, square root 2 over 2. So y over x. So this is what it's going to look like. So essentially, we're taking something and dividing it by itself, but that negative right there is going to make it negative 1. Okay? Alright, so that is how you find things on the unit circle and tell me what its sine, cosine, or tangent happens to be. So if you need any help reading the unit circle, please let me know. You have a Google form on this for the day. I put the picture of the unit circle at the top of the form so that you don't have to keep clicking back and forth. You can just stay right there. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. I miss you and I hope you're all doing well. So, see ya. Bye.